To really rediscover Mozart, I think we need to go beyond the purity of the marble and discover the imperfection of colors. It has been a really big question why Mozart, age 17, suddenly made this super dramatic symphony. There has been many different explanations. I think that the impact of French opéra-comique may be one of the reasons why this suddenly happened. Opéra-comique brought a new kind of entertainment to people, which I think in many ways can be compared to the television of today, or rather perhaps the internet. What it did was that it had to mix, because it had spoken dialogue and music, everything had to be short. So within the scope of a very short period of time, it had to develop a complete drama. Now there was a lot of text, so the place to music was quite limited. And this, I think, resulted in very intense and very strong music, which had to communicate a feeling in a very short period of time. And this, I think, is what you find in Mozart's Symphony 25. The Danse Infernale by Grétry, which we play, has this very typical syncopated rhythm. And I think this was probably, to be honest, one of the reasons I wanted to connect it with Mozart's famous Symphony number 25, which really opens with the same thing. And I think it was, to me, it was fascinating to think that Grétry would sit in Paris and that Mozart would be in Salzburg, composing to some extent similarly sounding music, with this material at exactly the same time. I think one of the reasons French music from the period of Mozart, even though it was amongst the most played in all of Europe, one of the reasons it isn't known today is that simply the symphony, the form of the symphony, was not the most popular form in Paris. So, while Grétry is one of the most played composers of this time, while he was the big composer star in Paris, the main star composer of Marie Antoinette, still he didn't really write any symphonies. Still, he's a big symphonic composer. So where can we find the symphonic music of Grétry? Well, I think we can find it in his stage works. And this was one of the reasons we picked out Céphale Procris. Céphale Procris is an opera about a really nasty, serious theme. It's really strong. It's a really strong dramatic action. So we also find music which really underscores this really powerful story. And this is why we can find instrumental excerpts which are of an intensity which you really wouldn't expect to find perhaps in this kind of music. So what we did for this CD was to pick some of those excerpts which actually I think show that Grétry was a great symphonic composer.